Hi everyone. Today's video is about using Excel and Power Query to get some data from some web page and to use Power Query to directly get the data into your Excel sheet. So basically today the website that we are going to get the data from is a weather report website. So in this weather report, what we are interested is this 4-day outlook weather report, the data here, the forecast, the temperature, wind speed, the 4-day outlook. So this is the data that we want to scrape from this website and just by using Power Query and Excel. So now I shall demonstrate how to use it. First, you open your Excel and you copy the URL of the website into this uh, Excel data tab. You press the data tab, you get data from web, and you paste the URL at the dialog box here, and you click OK. And Excel would connect the website. And here Excel gave us a few options. The table that is appearing in the website. Basically, if the website is using some tables to format their data, to arrange their data, so this is good for Power Query as we can just get it from the website. And here, the data that we want, the 4-day outlook, is at the table 8 here. I already go through this data already, and as you can see here, we have the day, the 4-day, we have the forecast, we have the temperature, mini maxi temperature, and the wind speed, mini maxi wind speed. So this is the data that we are interested in. So we will click transform because we need to clean up some of this data here. So we click transform. And here Excel will open Power Query and get the data into the Power Query editor. So here you can see that the data needs some cleaning up. So what we shall do is first we remove this last row here using the Power Query transformation tool, data transformation tool, remove row, remove bottom row. We choose one and it remove for us, and the step is recorded here. So any step that you want to reverse, you can just click the cross and you will reverse to the previous page. So these steps is exactly what Power Query will do. Every time you refresh the data, it will follow these steps and do it again. So you don't have to keep on repeating the cleaning out of the data. It's like an automation for data cleaning. So next, we would like to split this column, the temperature, because we want to have one column for mini temperature and one for maxi temperature. Same for the wind speed. We also want a separate column for the direction, the minimum wind and the maximum wind speed. So here, very easily, we use Power Query, right click on the header, split column by delimiter. We want to split by the dash sign. So we use custom and we tell Power Query that we want to split by the space, dash, and space. And click OK. You can see that temperature, mini maxi, has been split up. So now we want to remove the degree C because we don't need the units and we just want a number. So we use the split column again. Here we have digit to non-digit. So we use this and boom, Power Query split for us easily. So for the wind speed, we do the same. We split by the dash first. Delimiter, custom, space, dash, space. And now we will split the direction with from the minimum wind speed. So split column again. This time it's non-digit to digit. So we split. Now we have the wind speed on its own. And now we do not need the units kilometer per hour. So we split it by number, digit, non-digit. So here we have this data and we can delete this units column because we will put the unit in the header name. So we don't need the kilometer per hour and we don't need the degree C. So now we shall rename the column. Here we shall rename it to maximum wind speed, the units kilometer per hour. Try to spell out all so it will be very clear. Control or Control C, and we'll do it here for minimum wind speed. So here is wind direction. In direction. So here we have maximum temperature in degree C. Of copy. Here we have minimum temperature degree C. Here we have the forecast heading. We change it to forecast. Here we change it to day of week. Day of week. Okay, so with this, we have prepared the data already. We can rename this query into a more meaningful name, like a weather forecast. Okay, so enter. So it's renamed. So we can load into Excel and see how the table looks like. We close and load to, and Excel will ask us if we want to, in a new sheet, have starting from this existing or new sheet, I'll choose existing worksheet starting from A1, and I click OK, and the table is ready for us here. So as you can see here, the table is already here, but what we are missing here is the date. We have the day of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but we do not have the date. So we need to create the date on ourselves because the table doesn't come with date. So what we do is we will use Power Query to create a calendar table. So how do we do that? So the calendar table need to be dynamic as this data is dynamic. So as this Friday becomes Saturday and so on, it increased by 1 day, the date has to increase by 1 day also. So how do we do that? Is we create a calendar table using Power Query. And first we need to create an empty query. We use a get data, then we use get from other sources, a blank query. So from here, Power Query will give us a blank query. And here we will use the formula bar to input some code, M language code, to create a calendar table. So I have the code ready already. I will paste it first and I'll explain how the code works. So here we have the code here. I'll just copy and paste first, then I'll explain again. So here we have, we need to open up the advanced editor here. We click. So we need to, the command start with let. It's a standard, you have to start with let, L-E-T. So, but we can remove this pre-prepared code. I can paste our code here, right? So this is our code here. So basically, we want to have a start date, which is now, local now, because the data when we script, it will start off with current date, which today is Thursday. So 8th of August, Thursday. So we start with the date. So we need a local for the starting date. And we also need an ending date, which is a 4-day after. So end date, we use the date dot add days function, and we input it in the function into, with the first input is the datetime dot local now plus number 4, comma dash 4, which tell the function that we want to increment by 4 days. So this is our end date. So we have the start date and the end date already. Now we need to create a list, a date list, a list make out of date. So by doing that, we give it a name date list and we use the list dot dates function. and you take three parameters. First is the start date. Second is the end date, as in the uh, number of days, the end date, and the third is the step, the incremental step. So the start date will be the start date, and the number of days will be the end date minus the start date in terms of days. So duration dot days will return the difference of the end date and the start date in terms of days. So this is our second parameter here. And the third one is we want to increment it daily. So we use the duration function here, duration. The first one means 1 day, increment every day. Second, third, fourth, we set to 0 because it is stand for hour, minute, and second. So we put it to 0, we just want to increment it daily. So from here, we have completed our code and we want it to be, this code to be in our date list. Date list. Yeah, the one. From here, we click done. And Power Query will generate date, the list. It's not a table yet, it's just a list. As you can see, it starts from today, 8, 9, 10, 11. So today's date is 8th of August. So it will increment every day. So now we want to convert this into a table. How do we do that? We use transform. Here the tab transform on top and we to table. But before that, we can rename the query first to calendar. So we know that it's a calendar query and we transform it to table. Okay. So we have a table here and we rename it to date. So that's it here. So we can reload it into the Excel sheet and we put it in a new worksheet starting from A1. So we click OK. So this is our calendar here. And we change it to format to date. Home to date. Short date. So here we have it. So it's in a table form also, it's calendar. So here we can rename it to forecast, weather forecast. Okay, now we have these two. So we need to combine this calendar into this day, into this weather forecast table. And how we do that is we insert a column in front. This method is the easiest method to combine it. So here we just reference it equal to this date. So here as you drag it down, it will be smart enough to know that you want the rest of the rows. So here we can name it to date. So here a point to take note is you have to know that this is not part of the table. This table is this table starting from B1 is from this web page. You will refresh every time and you will get the data and load it into that Excel table here. So this date is refreshed via this calendar query. So this is not part of the date, but just an additional column here. We can make it to look like it's part of the table, but you have to remember that it is not it's not the table. So here, so this is basically our final product here. We do have the weather report, the forecast, and the date additionally that we created, and we join it here. So when we want to refresh it, all we need to do is to click the refresh button here, data, refresh all. You can see at the right side the query here, it will rendering the result when we click the refresh. You can see. Okay, now the refresh has been completed. The weather forecast refresh is for this table. The calendar refresh is for this calendar. So it's dynamic also. So this calendar is refresh from here, Power Query, this part of the query. And this weather forecast is refreshed via the website, and it will carry out all these steps to clean up the data and present it to you into this Excel sheet every time you click refresh. So this is how you refresh manually. You can also set it to refresh automatically, provided you want to keep this page open, like you have a dashboard and this part of the dashboard, the weather report is, you need to refresh periodically and you want it to refresh automatically. So you can also do that by clicking the down arrow here, connection properties, and you can set it to refresh every minute or every 5 minutes. So it will keep on refreshing, but you have to keep this Excel sheet open and this page open. So if you have a dashboard that will be constantly displayed and you need this to refresh, you can use this function here, but I do not want it to refresh so automatically and frequently. So just use the manual refresh method. Okay, guys, so this is for today, the how to use a Power Query and Excel to scrape some data from a website that comes in that display the data in HTML table format. So by doing that, you don't need to do any coding, and at the same time it's easier, it's more convenient, and it's dynamic, and the data that is displayed here is really clean and according to what you want to do, what you want, and it's all done by Power Query and Excel. So guys, thank you for watching. If you like my video, please give a like and follow my channel, and also check out my website codingengineer.com, which I will put the web page link the in the video below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all again.